right royally, with full spirit, they achieve this. Another major important thing that I forgot to tell about the interviewee issue, right? Lack of basic aptitude tests. In certain companies, even for managers, they have to answer aptitude questions. When I say basic aptitude tests, it need not be sequences and series. It may be a puzzle, a simple puzzle. But the puzzle may have a direct relevance to their business. If you want to recruit a sales guy and if you put a puzzle, right? There are certain puzzles for every area. HR puzzles, sales puzzles, accounting puzzles, Java puzzles, right? The puzzles which may not have syntax or anything around it, but it may have a direct relevance to that. If you have the basic aptitude, you will crack that in no time. But people feel, okay, I have finished 2 years in the industry. Now I have got 2 years experience, or say 3 years. From now onwards, I don't have to focus anything towards aptitude tests. This is pathetic. In fact, even for some of the test leads, even when I interview, I ask some of the standard mathematics problems. De Morgan's law is one of the things that many companies expect. And some of the partitioning techniques people ask, they are all puzzles, right? The reason why people lose this is feeling full nature. That means I crossed that limit. You never cross that limit. It is the company policy to conduct aptitude tests. In fact, certain companies really do. Even at senior manager level, you have to crack that aptitude test. Otherwise, you are not in. You take a typical example, say CAT exams. There are people who just finish engineering, then appear for CAT. There are people who worked, they have gained 4 years of experience, still appear for CAT. Then they go through the MBA program for some time, maybe 1.5 years, 2 years, or whatever. But within 2 years, is there a big transformation going on? Yes, definitely there's a transformation going on. But what does the test reveal? The test reveals that this guy's brain has a better analytical ability, right? These aptitude tests reveal that the guy has a better analytical ability, analytical reasoning. That means this guy squeezes his or her brain to find the solution. A guy who doesn't think, who doesn't want to force his brain to think nooks and corners, will not crack these aptitude questions. A guy with analytical reasoning will aim or may not get the final answer, but at least will solve 70 to 80% of the steps. That means this guy has a logical reasoning in a better way. Cracking an analytical test reveals that. Whether he is brilliant, it's a different question. Whether he is good in nature is a different question. But it simply tells he has a better analytical reasoning. Simple. And analytical reasoning is the core criteria for any software industry. If that is not there, knowing too many Java commands is not going to help you. Unless otherwise you have a good analytical reasoning, it reflects in all other areas like troubleshooting, like learning new things, right? Applying the concepts quickly. But unfortunately, people feel, oh, I know Java, but I don't want to appear for an analytical reasoning test. That doesn't make any sense at all. If you take any fresh recruitment, companies recruit from BE Civil, BE Mechanical, MCAs, MComs. What is the common ground? Aptitude test, analytical reasoning, right? If they're able to do that, rest of the training is given by the company. So they believe, every company sincerely believes in analytical reasoning. So our sincere thing to everybody, right, irrespective of the age, right, my grandfather still solves one Sudoku every day. He's 86, right? No harm in solving just one problem every day. By doing this, you are not losing anything. You don't lose anything. In fact, I am trying to have this implemented in our company too. Still, we have to go a long way. This gives enormous amount of brain squeezing, pretty much like you do exercise and then because of that you live hale and healthy. Same way, if you do your brain squeezing every day, 100% guaranteed, within 3 months, you can see a difference. Guaranteed. Many big companies do that at some levels, not at every level, at some levels. Solving a problem every day. Analytical questions. Okay. And one more thing I want to show is that Open Mentor is sponsored by Softsmith.com. We have a free product called a QA Monitor for complete bug tracking, test management, requirements management, and task tracking. You can freely register into this product. Use this. There is a demo already available. If you look at some of the screenshots, this is a product aiming at helping every small to medium companies in terms of bug tracking with all good charts, requirements tracking, right? And then test planning, test execution. You'll get beautiful dashboards like this, right? So if you have time, you can register for this particular product. You can do a get started now. It will have a registration. You can register and then you can start using this. I would suggest please use Firefox at this point of time, though it is compatible to IE, but Firefox works better. We are working on full compatibility with IE on it. You will see amazing test management. This has got more features than any other tools that we think of at this point of time. So you are free to register to this free QAmonitor.com and then start using it. And if you need it for a company, send a mail. We will create a separate thing, right? Then our team can definitely help you, right? So visit freeqamonitor.com. And one more thing, the last point before I try to close this session is a very, very important part. People issues. Especially when you are a lead, right? One second. This is when we talk about the leads, we will ask them what problems you faced. What is the what kind of risks you faced? Some people try to say, no, everything is cakewalk. Impossible. Every project will have its own issues. Most importantly, there will be people issues, right? The people issues will be like even long leaves, disputes. As a lead or as a manager, you need to tell some of the issues during the interview. Purposefully, we will ask them. We will not ask anything towards these issues or risks. I would say people issues or project risks. We will not ask anything, but we will expect the leads and managers talk about this voluntarily, because unless you face problems, you may not get refined, right? Face problems, learn more. Problems will teach you a lot of lessons than a theory book. So if a person really worked in a project and then faced a problem, they will talk about that. In fact, one of the interviews, a person said, we lost a project because of what? We bid for a project, we won the bid, but we are supposed to send the guy to Europe, but we didn't get the visa, so we lost the project. So management will think, okay, before we bid, we need to ensure that we have some people with visa, right? You cannot take it for granted. But this guy, when he told that, it shows, okay, this guy has faced problems. What other issues you faced? This guy said, we were supposed to do load testing, but the machines never came on time. So we lost 3 days, but the customer was crying at me. Good. Such situations must be narrated. Again, some people will say, oh, we can talk about all these things theoretically. Interviewing person also is experienced. You need to understand. A manager or a senior manager is interviewing a person who wants to become a manager. That person can pose questions in such a manner that the truth comes out. It's very difficult to lie throughout the interview session. So we expect people to talk about the problems they faced or the risks they faced, right? So another important thing is the interviewer, the person who is being interviewed, is not talking about this. The person gives a feeling of everything is fine. Everything is fine, that means he is hiding something. It shows that he is hiding something. So this is another major problem that the interviewing people have. We are supposed to, I think, almost like 5:20 now, right? Almost the last 1.5 hours we have gone through this webinar. From Softsmith, we are having a great offering towards load testing. Okay. This load testing, if your company requires about 1,000 virtual users testing for any web applications, we can do that. Contact us. So we can do performance testing at a very, very low cost and affordable cost to any company to do this, because we are partners to Neoload and CompuWare. We have got the tools and we can do the virtual user testing. So many times this load testing is not done in many companies because they don't want to invest on the tools. You don't have to invest on the tools. Softsmith has got tool licenses. So if you need any load testing engagement, send us a mail. You can send a mail to murugabi@softsmith.com. We will be happy to assist on any load testing. A few questions have come. There are gaps in my career. If people ask, what should I answer? As I said, talking the fact and the truth is always better. You can tell, because people understand there had been a recession in 2009, there has been a recession in 2001, so there is no harm, right, in telling the truth, if that is the truth. Okay, so reveal the facts. Nothing like opening up. So I would say you don't have to cook up any reason. Nowadays employment verifications are also strict, so we cannot, even if you tell something in the interviews, things will come out pretty point blank in the employment verification. So reveal the truth. That's what I would say. And there is one more thing, latest interviewing technique. There's one question. This is typically, this used to happen before. Nowadays, machine tests. Okay, this means give a problem, give a machine, ask the person to solve. You don't have to ask questions. One problem, for example, you are doing something on LoadRunner or QTP or Selenium, give a machine to the guy, 30 minutes, this is a problem. You solve this, or say 5 problems, solve these things in Selenium. If the guy is able to solve, then that means he has got the working knowledge. If not, the guy may not be even able to solve even a single problem. You can figure it out. By that way, you may have to install a machine, but you don't waste people's time. Because what happens is most of the times, the time of managers, leads are wasted in interviewing. That makes them boring in life. So machine tests are the recent ones. In fact, I have seen many companies having some 100 machines, 100 people are coming and then attending that and then doing it, solving the problems. End of the day, you get all the answers, verify that, whoever solved, they are in. After that, go to the next communication level interviews. So this helps a lot. This is one of the latest interviewing techniques. Another thing is, week 1, do interview. Okay, I talk about the scalability of people, right? Then give some new reading details, right? Week 2, interview on that. Especially when you are recruiting senior engineers, you will ask this person, okay, you may find this guy is having some deficiency in the knowledge in some areas. What you can do is, for example, a person doesn't know about object recognition methods in say a tool like Rational Functional Tester, but he is able to answer the other 80%. To see whether this guy has really the stretching or troubleshooting tendency or scaling up tendency, rather than outright rejecting, they will give an assignment. Okay, do this assignment or read this. Next week you will have a con call or send me back this assignment. Many times even we do that. If the guy sends back the assignment, that itself shows the commitment. That itself shows the guy is working. If the guy says, oh no, only by interviewing me you should select me, then that guy is not suitable for that. So this is another technique that is going on nowadays. And another foremost thing that is going on is, it's not only just based on interviews. People are watched over social media. Some companies, interviews do not stop right at resume, aptitude test and other things. They will ask, you may even be asked to reveal your Twitter ID or Facebook ID. There are comments that are watched. Even in the US and UK nowadays, it has become, social media have become a trend in terms of watching people. Okay, and purposefully they will post a question to you in some groups. They will expect you to answer that. It happens in the social media too. So this is another thing. And they watch, some of the people claim, yes, we are active members in forums, we are active members in blogs. They will ask you to send references of your answers or postings in blogs, right? If you have really posted in blogs, if you have really answered in forums, you can send a link. Hey, this is a problem that somebody shared in the world. I solved this problem. This is my posting. That shows you are going even the additional extra mile, right? So please be careful when you are accessing social media, passing comments. You need to be really careful. So they definitely go through this social media also nowadays. May not be at the fresher level, but at certain levels, yes, people, especially when people are going abroad, people are looking at their social media behavior also. And another trend that is still on is companies ask you to send video resume. Okay, that means 2 minutes or 3 minutes. You need to record yourself in a webcam talking about your strengths and weakness, top 3 strengths, right? 2 minutes, not more than that. And there are certain BPO agencies which are given the job of going through that video resume, seeing whether the communication is correct. Okay, and since there are people can still fool around it by having a different recording, but at least if that recording and your real thing is not matching, there is an outright reject. There is a question of reliability, right, and honesty. So video resumes are also coming into practice nowadays. So please be aware of these new techniques that are coming on. And there is another question, do companies differentiate candidates having part-time and full-time education? Yes, as I said, at certain levels people do differentiate. Maybe at the recruitment level, first-time recruitment level, but once the people get sufficient experience, it may be the jump start. At a fresher level, there are differentiations even now in India in terms of full-time college and part-time college. But once the guy is inducted in, I don't see any differentiation between. A promotion is always based on the performance, not on your college or degrees. To that extent I can be sure, but the initial recruitment is definitely different. Okay, so please, if you want to contact us, you can send a mail to webinar@southsmith.com. Just to summarize, please visit our blogs, visit our free QA Monitor site, and the blogs will give you a lot of educational information, and you are free to use any of the recorded material for free. This is purely for educational purposes from openmentor.net. Thanks for attending this webinar. We will meet next week. Thank you. Bye.